Hi, welcome to the Andrew Buckle video tutorial about shapes and creating pattern designs using the pattern selection feature in Affinity Photo. Now I've got a design here, and what you can do, now of course I can quickly add some additional designs. I'm just going to quickly add one, say a star design, and it can be any colour. It doesn't have to be black. Obviously I've used black, but these are all layers, so you've got layers over here. So view and studio and layers. That's the key panel here. So what you can do, you can merge them all into one. So go down here and merge visible. So everything there is merged into a single design. Now I don't have to use just that. I could just use a part of it as well. So what I can do, I can go to and I don't have to use the rectangular. I could use the elliptical, I could use freehand, etc., or the column as well. But I'm going to use rectangle, and I can just, with that pixel layer, just select there. And that's the key thing, pixel layer. All this works just on pixel layers. It will not work with the shape. So you have to get a pixel layer. So just create a design there. And it doesn't have to be, obviously you could select it over the whole lot, or you could just select one part of it. And that's what I'm going to do. You can also use feathering if you want to use that to create some more interesting designs. Then go to layer and new pattern layer from selection. And then you can see it. There you are, you've got your straight design. Obviously it isn't going to be seamless because of course clearly I cut through it. You don't have to, of course. I could have done selection outside, so it would have been seamless. But I just want to show you. Now move tool, and you can see you can move it. Now there's the underlying design. You can see there. What you can do, you can deselect it. You don't have to get rid of it. You can if you want. You can delete them, but it's just handy to keep them there if you want. And you can go, there's your pattern design there. On patterns layer selected, you can then move that, and you can create all kinds of very abstract designs like that. And also you can use the shear as well. So just hover just a bit there, and you can see you can create a shear design like that. So that's a quick way of creating some very interesting pattern designs. And like I say, it doesn't have to be sort of split. It can be seamless. So I've got another design here. Say this design. I'm going to say different colours, circles, etc. And what I can do, again, I got this. They're all shapes, and it will not work with shapes. If you try and go to layer and try a new pattern from there, it will not work. So you need to convert the whole design into all those, that selection, that area needs to be a pixel layer. So with those all selected, which I will just do now, just select them all in the layers, and then I can just go down here and merge visible, or I could rasterize them. So but merge visible. So I've got that pixel layer there, and that's the key thing. Now what I can do, I can go to layer and new pattern layer from selection. And again, you can see, of course, I've got the other ones as well. So a bit of a pity really. Sometimes it would be nice if it deselected them, but you can manually do it very quickly. And then simply make certain you select the pattern layer. That's the key thing. And you can see the design there. And again, you will see now it is seamless. And of course you can still rotate. You can also shear, etc. So just hover there, just above there. You can see design there. So great way of creating some real quite unusual pattern designs. And of course what you can always do, you can always go to layer and you can duplicate. So you can duplicate that design, and you've got two pattern layers, and you can of course shift it slightly aside. So you can create combinations. Now what you can also do is you can go to both of those, and if you want, you can go to, obviously you can rasterize them, but you can also merge visible. So it's all merged into one. And again, it's a pixel layer, and that's the key thing. So deselect the other ones so they're not there. What you can also do, you can just go over here to the rectangle, or use another one, use freehand. So you can just quickly create a freehand design, very ramshackle selection there, and you've got the design there. And then again, layer and new pattern layer from selection, and then you've got your design there. And again, you can deselect that one there, and you can see your layer there. Again, you can resize, rotate, and much more. Of course, duplicate, etc. Now I'm just going to go to another one, and this time I've actually got some shapes, but instead of ones with fills, I've got select just the stroke. So the stroke is just as easy. So again, what you can do, if you want, you can just go over here. You can move things around, obviously. But what I can do, I can go to layer and I can merge visible. So it all becomes, oh, just because I did it, was selecting the low one, you can move it up. Just move it up there to the top. So there's the pixel layer. And I can deselect all the others again. So pixel layer, make certain that's selected. And now I can go over here, layer, and new pattern layer there. And you can see your design. And again, you can resize and rotate. Now you've still got the original one, so I can deselect that one so you can remove it. Otherwise it just looks, you can see the design there. And also, of course, what you can do, you can again go to layer and you can go to duplicate. So you can duplicate it and you can combine it like that and rotate it as well, of course. Pattern layer, just go over there, rotate and create all kinds of very abstract and unusual, which you can stretch and do those things. And also, of course, what you can also do, you can go to layer, up here, layer, new live filter layer, and maybe blur it. So I'm just going to go down to Gaussian blur, just as good as any. And you can do a Gaussian blur just on that one. And again, still, because it's a pattern, you can still resize it. So you can resize that blurred design. And also apply other effects as well. You can go to layer and new live filter layer and maybe use twirl to distort it and that sort of thing if you want to do that. And also, if you want, you can always go to layer and new adjustment layer and maybe go and add one of these vibrants. Well, obviously it's black, it's not going to be much use, but maybe a gradient map or HSL and those sort of things. Whole load, depending obviously on the colour of the design. This in this case is not going to be much use. However, that's a run through of how you can create some very interesting pattern designs using this layer and new pattern layer from selection. And the key thing always is that it's a pixel layer. Will not work with anything else. New pixel needs to be a pixel layer. So hope you found this tutorial of interest. Please subscribe to the Graphicxtras channel. Always adding new tutorials about Affinity Photo, Affinity Designer, Affinity Publisher, Photoshop and many others. Also, please put some comments. If there's something that I've done wrong, done right, please let me know in the comments anything you would like me to do with this approach. Always happy to hear. And also a dislike or a like. That always appreciated. Thank you much.